Hi everyone, welcome back. So for today I have picked up two questions from LeetCode because they come under easy level. Let's look at them. The first question is gameplay analysis 1 and then the second question is gameplay analysis 2. We'll work on the first question first and then we'll move on to the second one. So for the first question, let's look at the question detail. We have this activity table. It has four columns: player ID, device ID, event date, and game played. And in this table, player ID and the event date is the primary key of this table. So this table basically shows the activity of players of some games. Now let's look at the question. The question is write a SQL query to report the first login date for each player. This sounds simple because if you look at the table, activity table, we just have to iterate through the record and we have to find out the minimum of event date for each of the player. And I think we can solve this using the group by clause. Let's write the solution for this question. So we will run the select star on activity table and we'll do the group by player ID. That group by column will be in the select clause as well, and then we will do the minimum of event date. And we can call this as the first login because that's what is there in the output. Alright, let's run this. Okay, so wrong answer because so our number of record is matching with the output, but the date format is not correct. We can change this. So in Oracle we can use the toChar function to change the format of date what is displayed on the console, and in this one we have the date in this format. So the way I solve this is I just pick the date and change that to their equivalent date syntax. So this is date, this is day, and this is month, and this is year. So let's just change those two, the regular toChar syntax, and we already have the alias name here. I think we should be good. Let's run it. Alright, so the answer is accepted. I think let's submit it and see if it's working on all the use cases. Okay, it's working on all the use cases. Let's go back to description. We are good with the question number 1, which means like question number 511 on the LeetCode. And now we can work on solving the second question. Okay, so the second question was 512 gameplay analysis 2. Let's look at the question. So in this question also we have the same table. The table format is exactly the same as the previous question. The question says that write a SQL query to report the device which is first logged in for each player, and we can return the result in any order. Alright, let's look at the sample input and output. Okay, so the player number 1 played on device 2, and there's 2 record for player number 1. Alright, so in this question we have to find out the device ID that player used for his or her first game. Alright, let's write down the script. So again, this is a type of question where cardinality changes from the input table and the output table, and in this scenario we usually find like minimum or maximum of certain column, and in order to do that the best way is to use the group by clause, and we are going to use the group by clause with this query as well. Select star from activity table and let's find out first we are going to find out the first event date for each of the player, and then we will join back that result with the activity table to find out the device that player used on that first day. Group by player ID. Player ID will come here in the select clause as well, and then we will use the minimum of event date. Okay, so we have the minimum of event date, group by player ID, and this will give me the player ID and the first date when the player played the game. And now there are two ways. Either we can join our result from this query to the activity table based on player ID and the event date and get the device ID. The second way is we can use the in operator using two column. Let's write out both the ways. I think that would be better for like everyone. Yeah. Select star from activity, where we will use the player ID and the event date. And since we are looking up two columns in the inner query, we will put those inside the bracket and we'll use the in operator, and we can name this something, first play date. Alright, let's run this. And okay, we don't have to get all the result in the final output, we just have to get the player ID and the device ID. Alright, so our solution is accepted. Let's run it so that we can check on all the use cases. Okay, that is accepted as well, and we can go back to description. So this is the approach number one. The second approach is a slight variation of the approach one, where we are going to use the join instead of in operator. And in this one, I'm going to copy the first query where we are picking up the minimum of event date for each of the player, and we will join with activity table, and we can call this as a temporary table, and we'll name this as first play. Okay, and let's make it in a better format. And our where clause will have, we can call this activity as a dot player ID equal to first play dot player ID, and a dot event date equal to first play dot first play date. Okay, I think we're good. And now in the select clause, we can just pick a dot player ID and a dot device ID. Okay, I feel like the syntax is correct. Let's run it. Okay, before we run the second approach, we have to comment out the first query. Alright, let's run it. So this is accepted as well. Let's submit it. Okay, so this solution is also accepted. Alright, so we are good with this problem. We used two different approach, but if we look at the concepts, they're basically same. The syntax is only different. Alright, thanks a lot for watching my video. Please subscribe to my channel for more SQL videos and leave a comment or questions if anyone has. Bye for now.